everybody. Lisa here from Prims on Greenway. Today is Thursday, March 2nd, 2023. Holy guacamole. Where did February go? It evaporated, basically evaporated. I am truly amazed at how quickly 2023 is flying by. I don't know. I've got no answers. Today, I would like to start first off by saying thank you, and thank you some more for all the comments from last time. They mostly revolved around my quilting woes. I have to say right up front, I have not made a mini quilt. And the reason being is, I think I mentioned this on my last video that I was going to be taking a beginner quilting class. And so I was focusing on the quilt that I actually completed. It's a small one, but I actually completed. And so I haven't gotten back around to trying a mini quilt, but it is on my bucket list for 2023. And thank you for all of the advice. The advice went from books to videos to trying leaders and enders and getting a special plate and a special presser foot. And Lori Textilist, thank you Lori, sent me a little video showing me some things that was so helpful. And getting back to the beginning quilting class, it was worth my time. It was 4 classes. It was on 4 Saturdays between January and February, and it went from 1:15 to 4:15. And I pretty much worked on the quilt there in class. I did finish the binding up at home, and I just picked up so many tidbits. And the major tidbits, which I kind of knew going into it, was for quilting in general, but particularly if you're going to do small quilts. I'm not sure I'm interested in mini quilts, which I think are like the super tinies, but maybe this size or so. I now really understand the fact that cutting has to be very, very precise, and that 1/4 inch seam, or if you elect to do a scant 1/4 inch seam, has to be very accurate and consistent. And so I thought I was doing good buying a 1/4 inch presser foot for my machine, but that's not reliable. It's not reliable. So you have to check it every single time. There's lots of different ways of checking it, lots of different ways of marking it. Really, the ideas were fabulous, so many of them. Truly, if you are a quilter, new quilter, go back to my comments last time, because it's a wealth of knowledge. You guys are a wealth of knowledge, and thank you so much, because again, a small quilt is on my bucket list, but this time around I focused on the quilt I made for the quilting class. So I last posted a video, it appears. Now I'm keeping remember this is the first year ever that I'm keeping Book of Days, and I love it. This is a definite win. This is a definite win for me. I like looking back. I have to say I wasn't quite as consistent in February as I was in January, but that's still okay because it keeps me on track. And so just to give you a glimpse, this was my January, and I do try to put a sticker for every day, which is just fun to search my books for stickers. And it looks like I last posted my video January 26th. So I'm actually a little bit over a month this time. And quite honestly, the reason I am is because I got sick last week. Yeah, I picked up the stomach bug, and that was no fun. That put me down for 4 or 5 days at least, but I'm better. And so this is my February. Woohoo! Fun, and more fun. And again, I'm going to mention I love these little markers. I think I mentioned too, I got them from Five Below, and there's a huge variety of colors in the little pack. The pack is like $2, and they're very fine. And so you can write small and fit lots in. So, I just love them. I think they're fabulous. And then, of course, I've been using some colored pencils to kind of underline things. I love the quotes in here. This is going to be one of my mantras for this year. I love this one, and it's gratitude turns what we have into enough. Yeah, I don't need to keep getting more. I like that quote. I like that quote. It's good for the soul. It's good for the mind. It's good for the soul. I think it helps keep a happy heart. Helps keep a happy heart. So so yeah, I've used some colored pencils and such in here also to color things in a little bit and make it super cute. But I have to say, I love this book. This is a win for me. This is a definite win. At the beginning of January, I know I mentioned to you guys I was going to try to do a rotation. That was not a win for me. It wasn't a win. I did do it faithfully the first 2 weeks, and I did get a lot accomplished. Rotations, definitely, you get a lot accomplished. No doubt about that. No doubt about that. But it kind of, for me, felt more like work. I don't want my crafting to feel like work. And yeah. So I've been kind of freewheeling it. However, looking over at what I'm doing and like, oh geez, I haven't worked on this in a while, does motivate me to say, oh, let me get that out and put a little time into it. So I kind of freewheeled it in February. And quite honestly, there was, oh my gosh, let me look, 1, 2, 3, 4, there was at least 4 days in February I didn't do anything. So I guess kind of once a week. Reason being is either I'm just exhausted or I just was too busy doing other things, home stuff, work stuff, family stuff, whatever. So, you know, it is what it is. My goal is to work every day on my crafting. I've definitely achieved that goal probably this past 6 to 8 months more than I ever have in my life, and it brings me lots of joy. So my goal is to work a little bit every day, even if it's just a few stitches. So I'm going to continue to work towards that. I think at this point, I'm probably going to continue to be a freewheeler. You know me, I'd like to finish things, so I am motivated to finish things. One thing I've kind of set aside for the moment, but I'm feeling like I want to put on my high-end radar for March, is Sarah Fletcher, The Hands Across the Sea. Yeah, I didn't work on her, I don't think, at all in February. So I would really like to get her out. I'll say at the end what I'm thinking about as far as my plans. But all right, I've been jabbering on for 7 minutes. Let's get started. I have a list as usual to kind of keep me on track. I got lots to show you. Woohoo! Lots to show you. So I've been talking about the quilt. So why don't I just start with the quilt? Let's show you the quilt. The quilt shop that I took this quilting class is Tiger Lily Quilts in Utica, New York. It was a class with 4 students. I was one of 4. Teacher was awesome. It was a churn dash pattern. I don't know where she got it from. She just gave us little handouts with very brief instructions on it. So I don't know. My understanding is that the churn dash is a very old block. So I consider it vintage. Now at Tiger Lily Quilts, which is an awesome little quilt shop, it's mostly brights, is what she carries. Her samples or models on the walls are often brights. So I asked her, can I change the fabric? She's like, oh yeah, you pick whatever fabric you want. Thank goodness they carry French General, because that's what I went. I forget the line. It was a French name, I don't remember, but I showed you the fabric last time. And here is the finished quilt. Size-wise, I don't know, 59 by 59 inches? No, I think it was 39 by 39. Somewhere in there? I don't remember. It's a small quilt. Not a mini, small, medium, I don't know. I don't know much about quilts. You tell me. It's not a large, it's not a mini. Is this considered small or medium? I'm not sure. Here it is. It was a ton of fun. I think I did pretty well with my little points. There are a couple that are a little off. One thing I learned is she wanted us to machine quilt it. I did mine very sparsely, although I like densely quilted quilts. The reason I did it sparsely is because my machine, it was eating it up. You definitely need a walking foot. Now, other people in the class, they zipped along in their machines without a walking foot. I don't know. mine was just churning it up. So I had to tear out twice, and she let me use her machine. The teacher let me use her machine with a walking foot. And so in the interest of time of getting it done in the class, I kept the quilting to a minimum. I have to be honest, the quilting is, I can't say that's my favorite part of the whole thing. I think the piecing, once I got it cut and started piecing it and saw it come together and laid it out, oh, that just, woo! Yeah, I was happy with that. So that's the part of it I kind of like. I do like hand sewing on the binding too. That doesn't bother me one bit. I thought that was very enjoyable. But the quilting part of it, I don't know about that part of it. I think I would be just as happy to, let the shop quilt it. So without further ado, here's the quilt. Let me get it open, and I probably will back up and stand up here. Hang on. Here we are. By the way, I'm in my kitchen. I haven't been in my kitchen in a long time. I'm usually upstairs in my bedroom. So yeah, here's my kitchen. My husband, I'm not going to grab him, but I don't know if you can tell in the background, there's 2 cow pictures. I think I've told you before, my husband is a large animal vet. He loves bovine dairy. And he recently bought these prints online, and I think they're extremely vintage. The one is French with pictures of animals, and the other one is basically 4 different dairy cows, different Jersey and Longhorn and something else, I don't know. But I really like them. I especially like the one over there. It's very vintage. I'm thinking about maybe hanging it up over here. I don't know. He might want to take it to his office. I haven't even asked him yet. But, in my house, it's a very old house. This, as you can see, my windows are very deep set. It's from the 1860s. And I have lots of rooms with lots of wall space. And I have very little relatively on the walls. I think because it's a crazy thing in my mind. I don't want to put holes in my walls. They're not plaster, they're drywall. And I have wallpaper, and so I'm always hesitant to put things up. So I end up putting up very few things. But I'm just thinking upstairs, I have one of those, what they call under the bed boxes, with lots of done cross-stitch projects that aren't framed. I really need to get on the Contented Stitcher Kim bandwagon and start framing them myself and putting them up. Years ago when I had little kids, I would, be very sparse because I knew they would break things. But now I gotta get my stuff out and put it out, right? Yeah, I do. Anyways, see, I'm on a tangent again. Sorry, guys. All right, here's the quilt. Woohoo! There we go. I think I got it all in there. Here we go. Churn dash. Now, somebody in the last video told me churn dash is supposed to represent a butter churn. So to me, that's vintage, that's prim, it's up my alley. And it's red. Woohoo! Red rules, red rules. So I'm gonna flip it so you can kind of maybe see the quilting. It's very sparse. I just went kind of up and down in the middle, and then I just did one square here in the center, and then I did kind of around the border. Maybe you can kind of see it. You can kind of see it. There, you can kind of see it. I love this backing fabric. Again, this is French General. Isn't that beautiful? It's kind of a grayish, but on the tan side of gray. And there's my binding that I hand sewed on. And oh, guess what? I was a good girl. Good girl. I get an A+ star. I put a little, when I did the binding, I put a little piece of fabric. You can't really see it, but I used one of those Pigma pens. Hard to see. But I put beginning quilting, I put my name, and I put 2023. I'm probably showing you upside down. That's probably why, huh? There we go. See? There we go. So yay, I marked it. I marked it with my name. I'm super proud of it. I think my points came out pretty good. Not too bad, really. Not too bad. Let's see the bottom. I'm gonna try to, not too bad there. Well, maybe that one's off a little bit. Well, it isn't cut off. Maybe it's a little too short. So not too bad. Not too bad. I love this fabric. That red especially. Isn't that amazing? Whew. Love it, love it. So there we go. So this is the quilting project I was concentrating on. Yeah, I'm hoping to do more quilting. When you have so many things on your plate, it's hard to do everything, but I really enjoyed this. I have to say, it was really fun. I know. I've showed it long enough. Put it away, Lisa, right? All right, there we go. All right, so let me set that over there. So that's my first FFO. Woohoo, first FFO. All right, next item I'd like to talk about is word of the year. I talked about it last time. I told you that my friend Michelle from Under the Woolen Willow and myself are doing a monthly prompt. And we're doing it on the first of the month. We started in February. Our first, and my word is simplify. If you remember, her word is balance. And what the prompt was, which was my thought, that you write yourself a little note as to why you chose this particular word, and kind of what your goals for the year are based on the word, kind of thing. And then you were to create a vessel to put it in so that it sits in there all year, and then on New Year's Eve you can pull it out and reread it and say, did I achieve these things? Maybe they were unrealistic, or maybe like, wow, I did really well and this was a banner year. So there you go. And as far as creating the vessel, it could be anything. You could have taken an old used envelope and colored it in with some crayons and stuck it in there if you wanted to, whatever you wanted to do. Or you could go with wool or cross stitch or punch or quilting, whatever. It's open. It's open. I wish people would join us. We have a hashtag. It's, oh gosh, can I remember? I didn't write it down. Prim Willow, WOY, which stands for Word of the Year, Prompt 2023. If you look at my Instagram or Michelle Under the Woolen Willow, you'll see the hashtag there. I wish somebody would join us. One person maybe. I think the only people that have posted are me and Michelle. Anyways, on March 1st, we both posted what we made as far as our vessels go. You need to go over to her Instagram and see her post. She is big right now into slow stitching. In fact, she went to a retreat in Alabama for it. A lady came over from Australia. I don't remember her name, but Michelle said she had an awesome time. And so she made this little pouch with all these little like slow stitching patches that she put together, and she put her word on the back in 2023, and she had a little button with a little closure, and she put her little letter to herself in it. It's adorable. You need to go over and check it out. This whole slow stitching thing really does look very interesting. Just when I need one more thing to do, right? Anyways, without further ado, let me show you what I came up with. Now, I've told you in the past, in fact, I showed this in the past, that I was going to do something with it. I told you my sister is always on the lookout for stuff for me. And so I utilized that basket that I showed you because I thought it was super cool. So here it is. Here is the basket. And if you remember, this bar that goes across was a little bit too long. So I did have my husband kind of trim it down a little bit so it kind of just fits on there nicely. I kept it red because who doesn't love the red? Look at red wallpaper. By the way, if you can't tell, those are little pineapples on there. Just to, pineapple stands for welcome. Little pineapples on red. Anyway, so here's the basket. And as you can see, I got this brown ribbon on there that must be attached to something inside. And indeed it is. So let me take this off. So I can open it up. And then I can stick this back on because it looks so cute. Oh, come on, be cooperative here. There we go. And I'm gonna flip it over so you can see what I created. Here it is. Here's Simplify. This is brown wool with wool letters. It's a red button from my button collection. And I'm not gonna take it off, but I'm gonna tip it so you can kind of see. There's a pocket here. There's a little pocket, there's a little button on the pocket, and there is my letter stuck in there. And it'll sit in there for the whole year. And at the bottom of the basket, I couldn't help but put some red fabric with a little batting in there to make it look super cute. So there it is. This is my vessel. And I'm kind of hoping that through the year, my projects will be able to be placed in my basket on display. And then eventually they'll all just stay together and it'll be a remembrance of 2023 and our Word of the Year prompt. So please, please join us. It's gonna be so much fun. We have posted the prompt for March. And this was one Michelle came up with, and she said to find some quotes using your Word of the Year, which might be inspirational for you, and to choose your favorite and make something with it. Again, it could be anything, could be very simple. The point of this really is to keep your Word of the Year in your mind, close at hand. Maybe just copy a quote and set it on your kitchen table so every morning when you have breakfast you can read it. Just so it's like a resolution kind of thing to better yourself, to keep yourself on the positive, on the upbeat, moving forward, you know, that type of thing. So it doesn't have to be fancy. You don't have to be super creative. As I said, you know, take a crayon and pencil. Again, it's more the exercise of keeping that Word of the Year going. Yeah, that's really what it's all about. But it is fun to make stuff too. So there you go. There's my second FFO. It's my Word of the Year project. So yes, check out Michelle's Instagram to look at hers, and you can read the prompts there. We're gonna try to post every first of the month as to what the next prompt is. So, woohoo! All right, I have a third FFO. Wowza, wowza. Was I on a roll or what? My goal this month was 5. I didn't get 5 FFOs. I ended up with 3 FFOs, 1 FO, and 1 almost FO. Almost. If I hadn't gotten sick, I would have at least FO'd that last item, but I think I'll be able to get it done hopefully today. We'll see. All right, so the next item is a Maggie Bonamy. Y'all know I love Maggie. I love Maggie. And this is out of one of her out-of-print books. Now, come on, these out-of-print books are locatable. They are locatable. Keep going on the secondary market or Abe Books, those used book sites. Keep looking at them. Powell's, Goodwill, there's a bunch of them. Because these pop up and they're not, I've not seen them for crazy like $100 or anything. I've seen them for 20 or 30. I think originally they were $27.99 or something like that. Yeah, I wish I could convince Maggie to reprint them because there are just so many beautiful projects and projects that are doable. Now, because I have Book of Days, I kept track of how many days it took me to complete this project. 4. Now, I didn't do them all consecutively in a row. It was spread out through the month, but 4 days for this project. And wait till you see it because it's adorable. And these are super doable projects. And there's even smaller projects than that. And there's bigger. I mean, she has a quilt in here. It's an applique quilt. I don't know about that. And one of the books, I don't think it's this book, she has a quilt where she makes little squares. They're not half square triangles, just little squares. And she hand sews them together. Oh. Susan Stanley, by the way, has a video on hand sewing blocks together. There's a whole technique, like you go forward and then you go back and then you go forward and you go back. It kind of reinforces the stitches. Very interesting. I loved it. Very interesting. I love learning new things like that. Will I ever hand do an entire quilt, like hand piece a quilt? Maybe hand quilt a quilt. I'm kind of interested in that. I talked to Susan about that. I think it's almost like a sashiko kind of thing. Big stitching, I think she called it. I might be interested in that on a smaller quilt. We'll see what's in my future. I want to try everything. Yeah. Anyways, this next project, it's out of the book Comfort Zone. Another amazing, fantabulous book by Maggie Bonamy. By the way, I was talking to my friend Tammy, who runs the Hobby House Woolworks, and she had mentioned that she had found online some needle lovin' books. If you're not familiar with needle lovin' books, they're not as big as these books. They're probably I don't know, anywhere from 5 to 10 pages. And they're a combination of designers. There's usually 4 or 5 designers, often Blackbird, often Maggie Bonamy. Of course, they're way out of print. I think, I didn't bring one down, but I think I have 1, maybe 2. I think just 1, I don't know. I found it one time on vacation in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania at an old quilt shop for 50 cents. But they're awesome. If you come across a Needle Lovin' book, get it and hold it tight. Again, it has multiple little projects in it, just like this, that you can do and just enjoy in maybe one day or a couple days. So keep your eyes peeled, keep your eyes peeled. So anyways, comfort zone. Let me see. Oh, I don't think I marked it. I think this was marked for something. Yeah, it was marked for something else. Okay, give me a minute. I should have marked it. See how unprepared I am here, and I thought I was doing better this time around. I know it's in here somewhere. Well, one thing, I don't know if I'll do it, but I love it, and it's my word of the year is actually in here. Look at this. Is that gorgeous or what? And how, again, simplify, and how simple is it? It's 2 colors, green and like cream, with all those little, what do they call these? Tongues, I think. Isn't that cute? Oh, I really should do that this year. I really should. It would be, I think these are actually buttonhole stitched. They are buttonhole stitched around. See, usually Maggie is a whip stitcher, and that's why I love it, but she buttonhole stitched those to give it a little more pizzazz, and it's adorable, but that's a heck of a lot of tongues. Yeah. All right, anyways, let's go to the project that I actually did, and where is it? Holy guacamole, Lisa. Come on. Can't let me down. There it is. Okay, this is called a stitching roll-up. Now, I'm gonna show you the picture, and it's a whole different colorway because you know me. I try to use what I got on hand. So I changed the colors up, but here's Maggie's, which is awesome, It's kind of a lime green wool. This is kind of the front, and then this is the inside. And this is a red. This is kind of a, I think it's more like a deep green, like a super deep green, hand-dyed type wools. And this is like a lime green, hand-dyed type wool. So it's adorable. Look at it there. Just adorable. Got a little pocket, got a little pin cushion. Yeah. I looked at it, I read it through, and I said, that's not that hard. And it wasn't. So here's my version with what I had on hand. Here I have it tied up. I got the little bow, got it all tied up there. So there we go. As you can see, I used a red wool. Let me bring it close. It's kind of a, see the little pattern in that wool? I'm gonna be very honest with you. This wool, this red wool, was a skirt. It was a skirt I had picked up at a thrift shop. Local church runs a thrift shop. Picked it up a couple years ago. Thought it'd be, make something cool with the wool. Finally used it. See, I'm finally using it. And I don't remember what I paid, but these little thrift stores, I don't know what you pay, $3, $4. I don't know, something like that. Wool can be pricey. Now, wool can be pricey. So ask your relatives, friends, neighbors, grandmas. Do you have any clothes that are 100% wool that you don't want anymore? I remember when I was in high school, the big thing was those wool blazers. I used to have 3, 4 different colors. Of course, they're long gone. But people might still have them in their closets. Probably haven't worn them in 20 years. Pass them on, cut them up. There you go. All right, so let's open this up and see what mine looks like. I'll show you the front first that has the flower on it. So as you can see, I changed the flower to yellow with some checkered red and I think it's a brown in the center. So here we are. That's the front, and then we'll flip it. Flip. And here's the inside. And so this is a pocket up in here, and this is a pin cushion. You can see that's a little raised. I didn't do it super raised. I tried to keep it somewhat flat, and then stitch down here. And I did that in a few different wools. And this is all just whip stitched, no buttonhole in this one. Whip, 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 which makes it go super fast. I also cheat. I think I've told you this before. I'm a cheater because I use heat and bond. So I iron it down first so it's all stuck down, and then I just whip, whip, whip is how we do it. So there you go. And I want to give a huge shout out to my friend Barry from Stitch Folk. This piece of fabric was a gift from her. She sent me some scraps, which was so sweet of her. And here's the first thing I used it for. Beautiful. Thank you, Barry. Look at that. Come on, guys, give it a try. You can do it. You can do it. All right, so fun, 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 fun. All right, those are my 3 FFOs. Okay, Lisa, what's next? Oh, now you know 2023 is my year of the Abecedarian. Blackbird Designs has a 12 sampler series. These are not reproduction samplers. These are original samplers by Elma and Barb. This series, I don't know the year it was put out. Let me see if one of the patterns has it on there. I might have checked it last time, I don't remember. 2014, okay, so it's almost 10 years old. Some of these patterns are still available. I bought a bunch on Kitten Stitcher. But you might have friends that you might be able to borrow others from. They are a Loose Feathers. It says Loose Feathers Abecedarian series, and they are numbered 1 through 8. I did not start at number 1 and move through because to me that would be too much like work. So I'm random, willy-nilly. Yeah, freewheeling. I started with number 8, which I showed you last time. I'll show you one more time so you can kind of see what it looked like. And it's called My Friend's House. I still haven't had Gail put her initials in, but I think day after tomorrow she's going to, because we're getting together. So here it is again. Can't show Blackbird too many times, can ya? The ornament of a house. The ornament of a house is the friends who frequent it. Aren't those gorgeous colors? Oh my gosh. Delectable. Yeah, delectable. So, so there's a little blast from the last video. And yes, I got another one done. Woohoo! 2 down, 10 to go. The next one I did was called Forget Me Not. Okay, guys, all right. Okay. My blonde roots are showing through, people. Last time I went on saying, geez, doesn't say what kind of flowers these are. Wonder what kind of flowers these are. Oh my gosh, Lisa, wake up and smell the coffee. They're Forget-Me-Nots. That's the title of the chart. Oh, I was so embarrassed when I had people comment. They're Forget-Me-Nots. Oh my gosh. Blonde roots. Anyway, I did finish it. And yeah, here's the chart. Forget-Me-Not. Forget-Me-Not. Loose Feathers. And this was, that other one was number 8. This was number 3. So I went from 8 to 3. Oops, I gotta put something behind that, don't I? Let's see, let me see if that'll help. Will that help? There we go. There we go. So, okay, you're gonna ask, what fabric is this? What count is this? Hang on, I think I gotta flip back to January because I think I started it in January. Where is it? It's 40 count vintage mocha. 40 count vintage mocha. Now, I don't know if you remember, I think I mentioned last time with the blues, the new blue, what was it, Blue Jay and Presidential Blue, I didn't like. I ended up using an old one and a DMC instead, which was a little more subtle, but I think this came out awesome. You can't see, I'm kind of sorry I even did it, but on the chart, it said you could put initials in the urns, and you can't really even see them. It just blends in, but I did put my initial and my husband's initial and the year we got married, which was 1998. But yeah, I can't really see them. Anyways, I do think the chart is super cute. I love the Forget-Me-Not flowers. Yeah. And this actually went pretty quickly too. These I've mentioned before are not big charts. Let me give you the stitch count on this one, 121 by 125. I think I added it up, I don't remember. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Took me 16 days. So a little over 2 weeks. But you gotta remember, when I say it took me 16 days, doesn't mean I was stitching all day. I was probably stitching for an hour or so, maybe 2. So, and there was a time, actually it was back on the 10th, I had to rip out a whole section of the vine on this side because it was off. So if I hadn't had to do that, it probably would have taken me 14 days, exactly 2 weeks, but I had to do a big rip out. So anyways, super cute. I got number 2 done. All right, do I know what I'm going to do, which one I'm going to do next? No, I had them out the other day and I'm looking, and it's really bad because I'm not feeling drawn to any one, but I've left it lie because I've been working on my other things. I wanted to finish my wool, and so I've left it lie, and I will go back to it when I finish my red sampler, which is the next thing I wanted to get finished in February, but I did not. And if you remember, this is from a Sampler and Antique Needlework Quarterly. I have the disc, but I happen to have this old one. I don't remember where I got it. It's falling apart. The cover's actually fallen off of it. It is spring of 2014, and is actually the red sampler that's right there on the cover. I've wanted to do for years and years, and finally just said, Lisa, do it. Now, it doesn't look like all that much. But in between, you can't see there, but in between there's ghosty bands. And so that almost kind of, to me, doubles the stitching. I was going to try to tell you what the stitch count was here. Of course, I don't have my glasses on. 145 by 106, so it's really not that big. And last time, I didn't bring these reds, and I didn't bring them again this time. But I'm using Ruby Slipper and Skinny Dip. Ruby Slipper, I think is a Classic Color Works. Skinny Dip is a Weeks Dye Works. So let's see if you're going to be able to see. I'm almost done. I'm up here working up. I just have to finish this, and then I have one ghosty band and then one alphabet up here. And her name is Flora Dello. And this was from December 8th, 1884. She was 12 years old. You can kind of see the bands there. They're all different. They're not hard. They're kind of fun. Once you know the pattern, you don't even have to look at the book anymore. You just move right along until you get across. So super cute. I was hoping it was going to get done, but I'm close. I'm close. I basically have two and a quarter bands left. So it'd be great if I could finish it today and then move forward from there. So there you go. So I've been busy. Okay. So my next little section here is kind of a Stitchy Kindness. Back on the 15th of February, I was very kindly invited by Linda. She is out in Oregon. She has a new Patreon called Ban Accessible, and she invited me to come on her Patreon Zoom because they were talking about strawberries. And I don't know if anybody was aware, if you follow me on Instagram, you might have caught it, that I did a little sale on my Instagram back on February 3rd. And I sold a few different things. One was my quilted strawberries, and those sold right out. Those did very, very well. And then I sold pears, but I didn't just sell the pears, I sold vignettes. I do have one left here that I can show you so you can kind of see what they were all about. It was 2 little pears, 2 different woolly fabrics. Let me show you up close a little bit. On one of the pears, I put a little tag with a button on them. And there they are. And the top, of course, is my covered button pins. And there's the bottom. And then here's the second one. That's kind of a complementary wool to the first one. And then I made little, what I called sampler tags to go on there. And then I put on some of my decorative waxers. Oh, these are hard to see in the light. This is kind of a keyhole, fancy keyhole. This is flowers. There, you can kind of see that. And then I put a vintage plate with vintage buttons, and that was all included in the vignette that I was selling online. And I also sold some decorative waxers separately. And I have to say, thank you so much, everybody. I did really awesome with that. Thank you. It was a lot of fun. I loved packaging them up. I tried to package things really fun. I was using, this is a great idea. I had some very old clothing patterns, and remember, clothing patterns, they're made out of like tissue paper, and so I was using that to package things, which is super fun. And then I was decorating the box and the buttons. I made a origami strawberry and put the buttons in there. It was just fun. It was super fun. So keep an eye on my Instagram. I probably will do another one again. I feel like I had a number of things for sale. I probably won't have that many again. I might limit it to maybe 6 or 8, but it was super fun. Keep an eye on my Instagram if you're interested in stuff like that, because yeah, it was a lot of fun, and thank you very much. And so getting back to Linda, I got on a tangent. So getting back to Linda, she invited me onto her Patreon Zoom. My hair's falling out, and it was a grand time. What a nice group of people. I got to meet Anna from Stitch Roadies. Woohoo, she's a big time. Yeah, she's big time. And Linda was sweet as can be. I got to meet Kathy Lounsbury. I got to meet, jeepers, I cannot think of her name. There was another gal there that does a floss tube. And she, Treehouse Fiber Arts. I was going to say she has a shop too, and she was a sweet gal. And there were several others there. It was just awesome. It was really fun. And Linda's a great teacher. She was teaching them how to do strawberries, and I didn't contribute all that much. I showed them a few of my strawberries and told them kind of how I did it, my quilty strawberries, and so I'm not sure I contributed all that much, but I appreciated being invited on. I thought it was so much fun. And so she sent me a gift. Yes, she knows that I'm trying to, you know, do a small quilt or a mini quilt. She didn't send me a mini quilt, but she sent me this cool, super cool pin cushion with these tiny little piecing. Look at that piecing. Look at how tiny that piecing is. Oh my gosh, and it's just perfection. Just perfection. Love the colors, absolutely. Prim as can be. Look at how great it would look here in my kitchen. And here's the back. Super cool fabric, super prim, and super cool. Thank you so much, Linda. You didn't have to send me anything. That was so nice of you. I think it's stuffed with walnut shells, which I love. Isn't that great? You people are fabulous. Thank you. The other big thank you goes to Lisa, Kindred Stitcher. I had the pleasure of meeting her in Missouri a couple years ago at Quilter Station. And on her last video, she said she was giving up on a Blackbird design, Come Into My Garden. And she said she wants to stitch it, but she didn't like the fabric because it was too green. Well, I'm a huge green fan. I know I always go on and on about red, but I'll be honest with you. I've been a lifetime green person. I really have. And seeing this fabric in person is amazing. I was practically drooling over it when it came in the mail. She allowed me to adopt her whip, her give up. And so she actually started it, which makes it so special. I'll always have her stitches up in the corner of Come Into My Garden. Look at those beautiful, perfect stitches. And okay, you can't see. Let's put something behind it because this, I don't know if it's going to pick up. Look at this fabric. That's amazing. I love that it's so green. That is so up my alley. So thank you so much, Lisa, for letting me adopt this. I don't have it on my immediate radar because I have all these other things, but believe me, it's going to be stitched. And I'm so mad at myself. Yesterday, I stopped at Hobby House on my way back from a trip to Buffalo. And it was on my list to pick up, but I got chatting, and I walked out without picking up Come Into My Garden. But I will get it next time because next time they will have the Nashville stuff. You know what's at the top of my list? It's the re-releases from Blackbird. Birds of a Feather has been one of my unicorns forever. You better believe I'm buying a copy of that baby. So there you go. But thank you, Lisa. Thank you so much. It's awesome. I love it. Felt is amazing. Top of my list. Thank you. Thank you. All right. What else did I want to say? Oh. Did I bring it over? Oh no, did I not? Oh, Lisa. Lisa. Oh, jeepers with creepers. Did I forget? Oh, I'm so mad. So mad. I think I might have forgotten. Hang on one second. Just give me a minute. I think it might be over there. Hold on. Just hold on a second. I'm coming. I'm still here. Okay, sorry about that. My friend Merritt from Just Because Buzz, out of the blue, sent me a Valentine's card, which was so sweet of her, and she sent a little tag. And what I want to show you she sent is these little fabric stamps. Look at how cute these are. It's just a little piece of fabric. I think they're 1 3/4 by 1 1/2, and then the back is a piece of fabric, I think, with some interfacing on it. Look at how cute these are. Aren't they adorable? Look at these. So there they are, a little grouping of 3 for Valentine's Day. So I took this idea, and I have a whole bunch of them, but they're upstairs. I'm not going to go get them, but I have one to show you anyways. And I took the idea, and I took the fabric, and I cut it that size as well as all other different sizes. And instead of mounting it on a piece of fabric, I mounted it on a piece of scrapbooking paper, and then of course, I inked the edges to make it look super prim. This one I put a button on. Some I did, some I didn't. This one I also made into a little tag. Some I did, some I didn't. Some of them I just kind of spread around as a little vignette kind of thing. I put it on my Instagram, but here was my prim take on it. And as I said, it's just mounted on a piece of scrapbook paper. This one I put a button on, but I did all sorts of little fabrics, and they are just cute as can be. Thank you so much, Merritt, for your gift and your idea, which is great. Guys, now this would take 2 minutes. You just need a tiny square of fabric and a little paper. If you have some pinking shears, you just pink shear it. If you want to throw a button on, great. If you don't, great. There you go. And if you don't have any ink, I think last time I said, if you have a little brown, like eyeshadow, old stuff that you don't want anymore, just put a little on the edge and boom. Primmed up. Cute as can be. So there you go. Thank you, Merritt. If you are not familiar with her, get over to her channel, Just Because Buzz. She does beautiful finishing. She's a precise finisher. You should definitely check her out. She's awesome. Sweet as can be. Okay, so I do want to shout out a couple people very quickly. One is a gal that I met. Her name is Rachel. I met her at the Nicola retreat last fall. She is Rachel of Needle and Flax, and holy guacamole, she mentioned last fall she was going to be doing this historic series, and she has started with Martha Washington. It's a First Lady series. It's fabulous. So you need to jump right over there and give it a watch. Loved it. Thumbs up, 5 stars. Next, this morning I watched one of my friend Lori Textilist's videos. She obtained a really cool vintage Singer sewing machine and was showing how she kind of polishes it up and cleans it. I love that. I'm all about vintage. I'm all about prim. Fabulous, Lori. I love watching things that are a little different. Thank you, Lori. Love it. Also, some ladies that I know you all love, but I'll just give them a hi-ho shout out, is the 2 Olivias. Olivia B out in California. I think she started her own little online shop. Rookery Stitching, I think is the name of it. Check it out, people. Check it out. I also love the other Olivia, who is Pumpkin Hollow Quilts. Just 2, Olivia times 2, right? Olivia squared. You guys are awesome. And Christy, of course, of Crosshatch Quilts. She just seems like a sweetheart also. Beautiful stitching. Thank you, Christy. And Carol, where were you this week? We missed ya. We hope you're okay. We missed ya. So a few little shout outs. And then I have winner announcements. If you remember last time, I was giving away a group of old Judy Kirby designs. And the winner of that is Tina S. So congratulations, Tina S. I will put my email in the description box below. Just reply and we'll send those off. And of the Elizabeth designs is Julie Fowkes, Fowkes. Congratulations, Julie and Tina. Julie, again, just email me. I'll put my email below. Just email me and I'll send that right out to you. Do I have a giveaway this time around? Yes, I do. Vintage. Again, these things come from my sister. She finds things, gives them to me. I said, well, if I don't want them, somebody out there will. These are Victorian homes. This one's Victorian Bed and Breakfast Inns, and this one is Victorian Homes by Debbie Patrick. I think Olivia B stitched one of these. I don't remember which one, but I think it was a long time ago, and I think she did stitch one because I think it's one of the houses there in California. And here's the other set. So if anybody wants this set of Victorian homes, please write in the comment Victorian. There you go. And then the next one is a kit. Yeah, my sister found a full kit. It is vintage, but it looks like everything's there. Everything's still sealed up. This is by Busilla. It's called Celebrations, and it's a gorgeous kind of antique-y looking old-timey Santa carrying some toys. And I think it's Ada, but of course you could always switch that out if you wanted to. Look at how beautiful that is. That's awesome. So if anybody's interested in this, put Santa. So Victorian and Santa. Yeah, so 2 more giveaways of old vintagey things I'm sharing with you from my sister. And let's see, believe it or not, I think I'm at the end of my list, except for I have some haul. I don't often have haul, but I don't know, I must have been in the right place at the right time. And at one of those used book sites, I don't remember if it could have been Abe Books. They had 2 Blackbird quilting / project books that were very reasonable. I think they were $17 each, which is probably cheaper than what you would have paid originally. And I remember Lori Textilis saying this was one of her favorites. It's called When the Cold Wind Blows. And yeah, there's some beautiful stuff in here, people. Oh yeah. I'm pretty sure, is it this one? Hang on, let me just look really fast. If it's this one or the other one that has, well, this one has a beautiful wool project. Look at this, it's called Birds and Old Buttons Pillow. Look at that, people. So it's not all quilting, but look at those birds. Ooh, my gosh, so many things, so little time. I don't know if this one had a cross stitch in there or not. Maybe it was the other one that had the cross stitch. There's lots and lots of quilts. Yes, this does have a cross stitch and a rug hook. Oh, this is called Back to School Pillow Sham, and that's all cross stitched. It's cross stitched like over 3 squares on a checkered like cotton fabric. Super cool. I love the look of it. I don't know if I'd have the patience to do it, but I love the look of it. And then there's a rose hip hooked rug. Look how beautiful that is. I have tried rug hooking, but I wasn't very good at it. But that is gorgeous. So yeah, so these Blackbird books often have, you know, other types of projects in there, you know, than just quilt. Look at that quilt. Oh my gracious. I bet Carol's done it. Carol's done everything. She's probably done that quilt. Beautiful, beautiful. And then the second one is called Country Inn. Country Inn. Now, I don't remember if this one had, oh yeah, this one had another woolly project that I was drooling over. Look at this, it's called Pot of Posies. Look at this, oh my gracious. Yeah, that would look cool right here in my kitchen, wouldn't it? If my husband doesn't want to hang up the cows, maybe I could make that and hang it up. I don't know. Oh yeah, this does. This has a pattern called Little Red Hen. Look at how cute this is. It's very kind of light faded, but look at the little hens on the bottom of the alphabet. Isn't that adorable? I don't know what crescent colors. Little House Brown. Little House Brown. Interesting. And look at this cute. It says Flea Market Pincushion. Look at how cute this is. I'm super tempted on that one. I did read the directions. Maybe intermediate. I don't feel like it's a beginner. Maybe an intermediate. But I might be able to pull it off. It is cute. And look at this idea. For people who like hexies, hey Anna. Hey Anna, I know you're a hexie girl. Look at this idea. It's a hexagon pin board. I think they just bought one of those framed cork boards and put a layer of hexies on them. Anna, look at that. And then they put little knobs to hang things. Woohoo! Fabulous. See the ideas? The ideas flow. They flow out of these books. They flow. There's even recipes in here. Look at these pancakes. Oh my gosh, Swedish pancakes. Look at that. Yum. Look at even recipes. Country End. See, I'm telling you, if you go on these websites every so often, they have these books, and these are like brand new, and they were not crazy priced. They were not crazy priced. All right, and believe it or not, I have more haul. The reason being is I, again, was in the right place at the right time. Suddenly on my phone popped up a sale at Acorns and Threads. She had all her charts on sale. 25%, I think. And I looked at what she had Blackbird wise, and I picked up a bunch that I didn't have because I told you I don't have all of them. And I've been seeing people stitch this one. I don't know if it was Carol or somebody else who was stitching the Agnes Platt sampler. So I got that book. Look at that deliciousness. Look at that deliciousness. Look at all those reds. That would look great here in my kitchen too. This is the Christmas pattern. I wanted to complete my Christmas sampler collection, Christmas Rose. So now I have all of them. I've only stitched one. I think, what did I say? There's 4 of them. And I've stitched 1, so I got 3 more to stitch. It's not very big. It's not very big. It's gorgeous though. And I never had purchased Humming of the Bees. Look at that big red house. Somebody's out there stitching this too. See, I forget. I see things on videos or Instagram, and then it goes in one and out the other. Gorgeous. And then I never had Summer's Last Rose. I like these because these are little patterns. See, these are quick and doable. Look at that one on that basket. Oh my gosh, look how cute that is on that basket. Look at that on the box, and look at that little pincushion. Those are quickies. See, these are right up my alley with the quickies. Love them. Love them. So yeah, I picked up those the first time I ever purchased anything from Acorns and Threads, and came timely and beautiful and on sale. Okay, 2 more quick things. One is I had volunteered for Emily C. To be one of her prizes to do a drum. And the lady who won my prize sent me a completed cross stitch for a pin drum, and I haven't made it yet. Sorry. I am going to get to it, but let me at least show you how cute it is. It's not my stitching. It's by Kathy Barrick. It's called Spring Pin Drum. Look at how cute that is. And so I need to get on the stick and finish this for her. The stitching is absolutely gorgeous, and the colors are very spring-like, so I'm sure she would love to have it for the spring. So this will be on my list hopefully in March to complete for her. And look at how cute that is. Isn't that cute? So I think the challenge, I've never done this before with a drum, is to match up these 2 sides exactly, because it makes an urn of something. I don't know if it's a flower or strawberry or what. So I've thought about it for a while, and I think I think I probably should baste it first and then do it on the machine so that the stitches are reinforced. That's what I'm thinking. So it's on my radar for March. So I'm hoping by my next video I can show you a completed drum, either here in person or at least a picture. Yeah, beautiful, beautiful stitching, and on my radar to finish for this nice gal. So that'll get done. And just today, I was thinking about, as I told you, I had that sale and I sold out on all my quilty strawberries, and I said, oh, it'd be nice to show one on my video today. So I kind of hurried up and stuffed one. I had one that I hadn't stuffed. I had it put together, but I hadn't stuffed it. But instead of doing my traditional finish, I dug through my behind the couch box. And that's where it is, behind the couch, of stuff I'd picked up on estate sales for the past umpteen years that I haven't used, but here I've used another one. And I looked at this piece. I actually had 4 of them. It was a set of 4. I don't remember how much I paid. Not much, because I'm an old cheapskate. And I said, I could probably mount my strawberry on there. You know how people mount strawberries upside down on different items? This is a set of 4 of silver goblets. I don't know if they were wine goblets or what. They're all tarnished. Gotta love it. Right up my prim alley. Tarnished goblets. Well, I flipped it over and I mounted the strawberry on the quote bottom of it. What do you guys think? You tell me. Give me your review. So here's the goblet. You would drink out of this end. But I flipped it and mounted the strawberry on this end, one of my quilty strawberries. I put the little tag, and then I put a little wool strawberry. I hung a little wool strawberry with a little button on there. And here's the little leaves. And then I just stuck a little vintage ribbon with a little button on that, just to give it a little something. Not too much. I don't want to take away from the strawberry, but what do you guys think? Give me a review. Tell me what you think. As I said, I have 3 more of these little silver things. Yeah, ding. Keep your eyes peeled for stuff like this, or maybe you have stuff like this in your attic. Use it, people. Use it. Isn't that something? I'm pleased with it myself. I like it. I like it. A little different. A little different. You know what? 6 months ago, my friend Barry convinced me to join Pinterest, and I enjoy looking at it. I know how to pin things like on my little saved area, but what I don't know is, how do you post things? I would like to post this. This is like a Pinterest kind of thing. I don't know how to post anything on Pinterest. I gotta learn that. I'd probably just go to a YouTube video and figure it out, right? Yeah, this would be a Pinterest postable item. Cute. Yeah. Anyway, just thought I'd share. Maybe I'd inspire somebody else to make a quilted strawberry and mount it on something old and crusty. Okay, guys, I think that's it. I have taken up an hour of your time. Maybe you got an hour's worth of stitching done while sitting, listening to me blab on and on and on. It's been awesome spending time with you. Thank you so much for coming, and have a lovely day. See you next time. Bye.